Hello, everyone, and this is another episode of the Fruitfest podcast interviews. And our aim here is to interview a lot of interesting people who are following a fruit-based lifestyle, a vegan lifestyle, and especially people that are interested in a raw food lifestyle. So we want to keep on interviewing interesting people doing that. And today we are joined by my friend Anne Jensen. And Anne is a hi Anne, just to give you an introduction. But Anne is originally from Denmark, I believe.
Mhm.
And I originally met Anne in Denmark at the
Mm.
Danish Fresh Food Festival a number of years ago. But Anne has also been involved at the UK Fruitfest last year. She was helping out a lot with being kind of part of the MC team sort of thing. And she's also been at the Woodstock Festival, and she's travelled to all sorts of different places, eating a fruit-based lifestyle, and knows a lot about this, I think. And I think you lived in the tropics as well and stuff like that. So that's a little bit of an introduction. Did you want to say anything else about yourself? You also, everyone, you can follow Anne at Fruitarian
Yeah,
online.
that's good. Yeah, I don't have much else to say, I think.
Excellent. Well, let's get right into it. So, how would you describe your diet right now? Are you a fruitarian? Are you raw vegan? Are you vegan? How do you call
Oh,
yourself?
well, I like to think that fruitarian is the same thing as raw vegan,
Okay.
because I still eat greens and I eat nuts and seeds like that, but I'm where my main calorie intake comes from fruit. So I am a fruitarian, I'm a raw vegan, but I do actually now when I'm here in the winter here in Denmark, I eat more greens. So yeah, I've been eating salads and
Yeah.
but of course fruit every day.
Yeah. So, some people, so you make a good point there. Like, some people might say that a fruitarian diet is this or that, but for most
Yeah,
people, most people are having some greens in their kind of
yeah,
raw vegan diet.
yeah.
How did you end up transition? Because you're still quite young. I don't know exactly your age, but how did you end up
22.
22? Yeah, how did you end up finding out about all this?
It was like 3 years ago, maybe even 4 years ago. I moved to France to be an au pair, to work as an au pair, and I've always lived. I've been vegetarian for 8 years at that time, and I was always interested in health, and so I moved there, and I was living very healthy, like kind of healthy before that, and very
Yeah,
active. And then I moved, and I my whole lifestyle changed, and I was living this very busy and very 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 unhealthy lifestyle. Like I was eating more processed food that I've ever eaten my whole life, more animal products, like, well, not meat, but I was eating lots of cheese. It's France, so there's a lot of cheese and a lot of eggs, and I just my health just it was so bad. I was feeling horrible, and I started losing my hair, which was the main reason why I became like started becoming interested in raw veganism actually, because I was searching on YouTube like how to not lose your hair and stuff like that. And I also got acne all over my face and my chest and my back, and I was like, this is definitely the food. And I realized how much the food like means to how you feel. And I was so tired, and I was like, so I came across the diet, and I was like, not only wow this can heal me, but I was like, this is what we designed to eat. And I was so passionate, I became so passionate about this. And I was like, since then I was so into raw veganism, and I spent the whole year in France studying, because I couldn't go fully raw there, because I was with the family, they paid for my food. So
right.
I was just educating myself. I was watching a ton of videos. I bought Dog's 80-10-10 book, and I read lots of books, and I was studying a lot, so I wasn't gonna make a lot of mistakes once I went raw. And that's what happened. I went raw, and it's been very easy. My journey has been very nice. So
Wow.
yeah.
So you came back to Denmark. Was it when you came back to Denmark you started to?
Yeah, exactly. A
Who?
year after, so.
So what was like the first videos and the first books maybe that you came across? Was there a specific video you
Yeah,
remember?
it was actually Ravenna. She was
Okay.
raw vegan back then.
Hmm.
And she was just like saying, oh, these skin products is no. She was saying these smoothies are really good for your skin and this is good for hair loss, this smoothie. And I was like, oh wow, that makes sense. And I was really into her videos. And then I saw that for the raw Christina was also raw vegan, and I found out there was a whole community. But they like she was the first one I heard about. And yeah, then people.
Excellent, excellent. And how did you find out about the Denmark festival? I'm guessing that was pretty exciting when you heard about that.
Yeah, that was very new. That was very early on my. That was just when I first went raw almost, and I heard about it from Louise that makes the health the I don't know what it's called. Like she's the organizer of the festival. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and I bought her book because she has a Danish book, and I bought that before, and I was like, wow, she has a festival. I want to come to that. So that's how I found out about it.
Brilliant, brilliant. And what was your experience like at that first festival?
Oh, it blew my mind. That changed my whole so much. It was so amazing. Like I everyone was so open and nice, and there was a lot of education there. And I was very new to raw veganism at the time, so it was so nice to feel like, wow, there's other people that are doing the same thing as me. So that was really, I think, the fruit festival really helped me.
And from there, like a lot of people get into this lifestyle, they want to start traveling and going to eat fruit
Yeah.
places. It seems like you've done
Yeah.
a little bit of that. So was the next part of your journey, was it after that you started to go to different places like
Yeah, I was raw vegan, fully raw for 1 year in Denmark,
right.
and then had to start traveling. That was I wanted to. I've always wanted to keep traveling, so yeah, I made it happen.
And where did you go?
First, I went to Woodstock Fruit Festival, and that was August. And then after that I went to California. I have some friends in California, and I lived there for two or 3 months, and then I moved to Hawaii and lived there. And once I have a visa for 6 months in the States. So once that was expired, I went to Thailand and lived in Thailand for 6 months, um, and then I moved to Malaysia to work on a durian farm. The opportunities just came at that time, and I just worked on this farm for a few months, and then no, 2 months I think, and then I went to the UK Fruitfest, and then the whole fruit festival started over after that.
Yeah,
I
right,
can
right, right.
Yeah.
Excellent. So tell us some of your highlights, like when you were in California and places like that, and then
Oh yeah.
Hawaii. Did you find it pretty easy to get good fruit? And did you meet other people that were like raw vegans and stuff?
Yeah, yeah, it's been so amazing. When I was in California, the food was amazing. We were living in a car, and we were getting like Mexican papayas and mangoes, and it was really good. But I was with my friend, so I was not really with raw vegans but she was raw at this time with me, so it was nice. And we were surfing every day, so it was amazing. And then in Hawaii, I was with my friends from Woodstock, so a lot of people from Woodstock that year moved to Hawaii. So we were like this cozy community. We even created a community in Hawaii,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, we were there together for some months, and it was nice.
And then people see Thailand as quite a good place for raw
Yeah.
vegan people to try this diet out. Where exactly were you in Thailand?
I was a little bit in Koh Phangan in the islands down there in south, but most of my time I spent in Canterbury, because there's the best fruit and the best durian in Thailand, I would say. and it's really cheap too. That's what I love about Thailand. It's so cheap. And there was a lot of raw vegans there, and yeah, so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you came back to be part of all the festivals and everything again, and you were helping out with the festivals.
Yeah.
What do you feel about, like, do you think there's something different about the fruit festivals than other events or other places? Like, do you think people are different in some way at those events?
Yeah. It's nothing, I've never experienced anything like a fruit festival in my life. And before this, I was meditating a lot, and I was going to these seminars where I was like blown away from all the love that I was receiving. But Woodstock and the fruit festivals that I've been to all over the world is still, it surprises me every single time how much love there is. And it's just, the people there are so open and so nice, and you just walk around smiling and hugging people, and yeah, the vibes are amazing. And I think it's because we all just want to give the best, be the best of ourselves, and give so much love, and if we do that all together, we just feel it so much, and it's amazing.
Fantastic. Now, you've documented about your journey on your channel on YouTube and things. What made you start doing that?
Oh, I was just feeling so great. I was so passionate. I'm still so passionate about this lifestyle. It's changed my life in so many ways. And for me, I just would love, like, my dream, my mission, and my goals is to make raw veganism and this lifestyle so normal, and like normalize it, so that it's I just want to spread this message, and I want to make it normal. So if I make videos, hopefully one day people will watch it and think that this is becoming more and more normal, and maybe one day it will be just, everyone will think that the fruitarian lifestyle is something to consider.
Sure. So you're basically just trying to get the message out, and you want to inspire more people, I guess, and everything else. What have you found? I mean, you talked about the transition, and this is something I think that's quite interesting, is that everyone tends to have a bit of a story. You said that you'd kind of researched it so much that when you actually started to do it, it was easier than you thought.
Yeah.
So do you think that's because you were preparing yourself so well in advance, and that you had so much knowledge about it, or what was it that made it easy for you?
Yeah, I totally think so. I think I was so mentally prepared, because I prepared myself mentally for a whole year to become a fruitarian. I was telling myself, I'm going to be fruitarian, and I'm going to give up this food. And I was eating this food, and I was saying, soon I'm not going to eat this anymore, and I don't even want to eat it right now. Or I would just like say that I'm becoming a fruitarian, and I'm gonna I was just preparing myself so much mentally. And I was also like, because I was researching so much, all the mistakes that the raw vegans have made, and they have it on YouTube, most of the people, I was watching those videos, and I was taking notes that I need to eat enough. I need to make sure that I'm stocked up always, and always have enough ripe fruit, and all these things that is really, really important when you go raw. And now I was just I was so surprised. Still am, but yeah.
So what are your kind of tips for people that are looking to change their diet and lifestyle?
I would say just really preparing yourself mentally, and like researching about it, and know the reason why you want to be raw. Because I had some huge whys, and I had some really big reasons why I wanted this, and it was not only one thing, it was so many different things that made me want to go raw. And that will keep you motivated when the times are hard. And so really just know what to do, and like educate yourself, but also stay motivated. I think the motivation is so important.
Oh, of course, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And one thing you mentioned there is like is kind of preparing your mind almost, like
Yeah.
being mentally prepared. That's quite interesting that you were sort of doing that in advance.
Yeah.
What would be like a day for you, typical day of eating? What would you eat? How much? When would you eat?
Oh, yeah. Well, that really depends on where I am in the world. Should I say what I'm eating right now?
Yeah, 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 sure.
Okay. Lately I've been eating a smoothie for breakfast. That's my biggest, like, I usually eat at like noon.
Hmm.
And I would eat a big meal, usually smoothie with persimmons and dates and bananas.
Hmm.
And then at lunch, I will, because I work a lot right now, so I don't really have time to eat. So I will make a juice and then I will bring that to work. Um, and that will be my, I will make a green juice, usually green with some fruits in there too, like apples and oranges. And then I will have a salad before I go to work, or depending if I work late or if I work early, I will have a salad one in between.
Hmm.
And usually that will be cucumber noodles with my favorite mango sauce, like mango and ginger. I love that.
Wow.
Or tahini, mango ginger tahini is so good. I love that. I've been eating that so much. And then zucchini noodles, no, usually cucumber noodles and tomatoes. I love that. Yeah, that's based and very normal, typical day.
That sounds pretty simple, pretty
Yeah, it's
easy
very
to follow.
simple. Yeah.
And do you kind of keep it quite regular like that, or is it different all the time, or you keep it fairly
Here
consistent?
in Denmark right now is really simple. I don't really do my appetite is not even like huge because the fruits are I don't have much to choose from and the fruit quality is not so amazing.
Yeah.
So I keep it very simple, just a smoothie and juice and then a salad. And I like it like that. But in the summer it's so different. I eat so much more variety, like cherries and berries and
Sure.
watermelon, of course. And in the tropics, it's different. But that's what I love about this lifestyle too, is that it's always changing. So,
Absolutely, with the seasons.
yeah, I love that.
What What are the big mistakes you've seen people make? Because obviously you've not many people stay fully raw like yourself, and
Yeah.
a lot of people fall off the diet. What do you think of the mistakes you've seen people make?
Um, Well, I think one of the mistakes is that they start raw veganism without having really a motivation, but they feel like it's something that maybe they just I don't know. The motivation is just really really important, and most people I talk to, it sounds like they really don't even think that it's healthy for them to eat like this, or I don't know what they have these reasons why they should do something else, and they tell me this, and I'm like, well. Okay, it's okay that you don't, but if you don't want to eat raw, of course you won't eat. Like,
Mm.
I think if you really want to stay raw, you'll find a way, and I think that's the biggest, like the most important part of staying raw is the motivation. So, but mistakes besides not having enough good quality fruit and stocking up, I think that's yeah, the
And
biggest.
and outside of your diet, obviously you've worked on your diet, but is there any other aspects of a healthy lifestyle that you're quite passionate about? Do you do a lot of exercise? Is
Yeah.
it other things that you do?
For sure. I think health is just like eating is just one part of health, and there's so many other parts of health. Like I think mental health is as important as what you put into your body.
Mhm.
So staying happy and positive and connecting with people and having loving intimate relationships is really important to stay and just be like really important, I think, to stay happy and not stressed, and and also getting fresh air and enough sunshine, of course, sleeping enough and all this that that people say all the time, but it's so important. Like if we only eat healthy, but all the other things we don't do, I don't think we will feel so good. Maybe, I don't know. I think it'll be hard not to.
Do you do a lot of do you do any kind of visualization or
I do
affirmations or meditate? Yeah.
Yeah, I love to meditate. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I love to meditate. Every day I try to, most of the days I meditate every morning. So yeah, that is amazing. Just
So you talked about going to meditation seminars and stuff. Is that part of a whole spiritual path for yourself?
yeah, it's something I've been doing since I was 18.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Excellent. One thing I wanted to ask you as well is when you look at the raw food community and the different people out there and things that people are saying, what do you think are some of the kind of, I'm not sure what the right word is, but maybe like the myths or the things that, information that you think's not right, that's maybe gets out there, that some people that are experts maybe say things that you don't agree with. Is there anything like that you can think of in particular that?
Well, the first thing that comes up to my mind is actually because I've been with quite a bit of vegan, well, I would say in the raw vegan community. It's hard to like separate those two for me, but a lot of people have talk a lot about the looks, and like it breaks my heart to hear that when I hear people saying that raw vegans don't look healthy, or this person doesn't look healthy and this person doesn't look healthy, this diet is not healthy because this person doesn't look healthy, or like beautiful. I mean, I think it's so sad that we look at people and say that this person, if he or she is not beautiful, then he or she is not healthy. But we're not all models, and we don't all look amazing, But I think that's really sad to have. I think that's really something I don't like actually. But I don't know if it's a myth, because it's something I experience a lot when people talk to me about. But I don't think that it's true that because you're raw vegan you become ugly or like you age faster or something. I think we all look very beautiful, but we also have different hygienes, and some people decide not to brush their hair or pluck their eyebrows like most people do, or I don't know what it is, and they might look different to other people's standards,
Yeah, for sure. So you're absolutely right in that there is a lot of there does seem to be a lot of people that either are scared of doing this lifestyle or move away from it because, as you're saying, they're worried about.
Yeah.
They look at certain people, say, well, that person looks old or whatever. It's like, well, they're so nearly 70 years old, so they do look like that.
Yeah.
But there has been a bunch of people over the last while that have moved from either raw vegan or vegan to like carnivore diets, and people experiment.
I have heard,
yeah. I mean, I don't know if I know that many of them personally, but I think there is a problem with a lot of people never really learn how to do the lifestyle correctly.
Yeah.
And if they've never been to an event and met people or met people in their town or like really, really experimented with it a lot, I think it's very hard to get it right. And it's very easy to, because I think everyone approaches veganism with the mindset of thinking it's deficient and then thinking raw veganism is deficient, then it's very easy for them to start to feel like there's something wrong, and then they want to change what they're doing. Do you see much of that happening?
Yeah, I do. And I think it's really sad. I think we should, I think that's why fruit festivals are amazing, because we really get educated, and we see other people, what they do, and we learn a lot. We learn a lot. even when you have feel like you have learned a lot, I still learn so much every fruit festival I go to.
On that topic, I know that, for example, there's some people that say the fruit that we eat or the vegetables we eat, they're not as, they don't have as much nutrients as they once have, and we need to take supplements and things. Do they believe in any of that? Do you take any supplements or anything?
I don't take any supplements, and I actually just went to the doctor just after being here for 3 months. I was like, well, I want to see, because I haven't been to the doctor since I went raw, so I wanted to see how my vitamins and minerals and my B12 how it was looking. And I went to the doctor, and I got the test back, and it was amazing. They said it was better than the normal like standards, and it was really good. Even B12, even vitamin D, because usually vitamin D you can stay 3 months. You can restore 3 months of vitamin D, and then you start losing it. So I still had some vitamin D in there, and it was really nice to see that I get plenty of everything I need on my diet. And I know that the soil is not as good in the world, and our quality of fruit is not so good. But if you eat a raw vegan diet, you are eating so much. You're eating so much of amazing vitamins, and everything that we eat is just basically what we need, like vitamins and minerals. And I think we cannot. It's nothing to worry about compared to if you were eating a standard diet. Like, think about grains and something like that. There's nothing there. It's empty. It's totally empty. So.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, that's really interesting. You actually don't supplement at all.
Yeah, no.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't supplement either. I know a lot of people do that green powder.
Yeah, I know.
Are you interested in any of that stuff, or?
I've never really been interested in it.
Right.
I think green juices are way better. fresh green. Fresh. Because it's the same thing. It's just dried, and I think if you really want to do that and you don't really want to juice, I think it's cool. It's not that I'm against those powders or superfoods, but it's not really nice. I don't really. It doesn't taste good to me too. So yeah.
And another thing I was wanting to ask about is. A lot of people do like intermittent fasting and stuff. They want to try and restrict when and how they eat. Do you do anything like that?
Not consciously. Really, I feel like I've come to this point in my life where my body really tells me when it's best time to eat. But sometimes, of course, now when I'm working, I actually naturally do a lot of intermittent fasting, because I don't eat because I work, and usually I fast for those 8 hours or 9 hours when I'm working. Sometimes I drink some juice, as I was saying, I think intermittent fasting can help you with weight loss, or feeling more like energy. But I already have so much energy, and I don't really like living in the cold climate. I would rather focus on abundance than restricting.
Right.
But because I don't have much of abundance here. So I'd rather really focus on that than trying to make a schedule of when I'm eating, because I don't have much time to eat. So I'm just grateful when I have time to eat.
I'm really impressed then, because you have such a simple approach to this. And I think that's to me, that's the right way to just try and keep everything, simplified. And some people want to make this really complicated. And I think sometimes it's like they're trying to make it complicated to look like an expert or something. I don't really know, but you're basically just saying, eat enough fruit, eat some greens, and don't worry for the rest of it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that.
No, that's excellent. And so you're a real, because I always think it's hard to find people that are, firstly, who are really doing 100% raw
Yeah.
lifestyle, which is kind of rare.
Mm-hmm.
But even within that, it's hard to find people that aren't like getting a little bit crazy about it. Like sometimes people are eating doing a lot of supplements, or they're always changing what they're doing, or they're going from high fat to low fat. And to
Yeah.
try and find people that are like consistent is quite rare.
Yeah.
Why do you think, like, is that from meeting people? Is it particular mentors you had? Did you used to be kind of worried about different things, and now you're just, is it your own experience that's led you to this place, or is it the people you've met and things?
I think it's something that makes me feel better to I don't want to stress about food all the time. I don't want to
Right.
think about what I'm eating all the time. And being raw vegan, I've almost been raw for 3 years now. It's not nice. I don't want to think about what I'm doing with my food all the time. So I really just prefer to just focus on what I love to do and focus on appreciating what I'm eating and not really because I have been traveling a lot, and the first thing that hit me when I was traveling with raw vegans was actually how much they were obsessed about food and health. And but I think a lot of people are. It's not only raw vegans. I think it's and especially when you go raw, in the beginning I was the same. I was thinking so much about what I was eating because I wanted to do it right. So I totally understand when people are really focused on what they eat and what they do, and really, but I just prefer to chill to feel good and just simplify everything. But I didn't used to, like when I was younger. I was developing an eating disorder when I was younger. I never got anorexia or anything, or orthorexia, but I was on the path, and my parents told me that I had to stop exercising because I was exercising too much, and they had told me I had to stop doing this, and they stopped doing this healthy lifestyle that we were doing together and the whole family because of me. So it's not something I've always something I don't know, developed.
Yeah. And you mentioned like eating disorders there. I do feel like people maybe don't realize it, that you do get people coming into the raw vegan lifestyle that are, to me, they're kind of, sometimes they're using it as a bit of a cover, like they've actually got an eating disorder.
Yeah.
And so when you go on some forums and things, sometimes you see posts and you think, well, that, when people are always talking about, I don't know, losing weight, and they put down what they've eaten that day, and they've not really eaten that much, and they're saying that they're still fat, and you think this is probably more to this than meets the eye.
Yeah.
Have you met many people like that, or seen that? Like,
yeah, I have met people where I could feel that this was not a very healthy relationship with their food or their lifestyle or their fruitarian, but I knew that it wasn't the diet, it wasn't the lifestyle that was making these people have eating disorders or whatever you want to call it, like unnatural, like unhealthy relationship with their food or themselves, that and then they come into this lifestyle, and they can keep doing unhealthy things to themselves in this way because it's more accepted in a way. I don't know, because it's like, I don't know, now we're so focused on intermittent fasting and water fasting and dry fasting and and all these new things that we're so it's so trendy. And so I don't know, so it's more accepted to do things like water fasting and dry fasting and intermittent fasting now because it's cool to do. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's an excellent point as well, as this whole the whole mindset of fasting. And I think a lot of people, there's a couple of things that are really big in the raw vegan community right now that weren't when I was first getting into it. And one is all of the kind of Robert Morse
Yeah.
information.
I was thinking the same.
And I don't know, yeah. So I guess you know what that was. And to me, it's like I see all these people posting about they're they're urinating in a jar, and then they look at their urine, and then they're trying to tell if their kidneys are filtering or not, and then they're always talking about clearing the acids from the clearing the acids from the lymphatic system and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
how certain fruits are astringent fruits and they pull stuff from your flat, and they say all this stuff that I'm like, I never really dived into all that because
No.
like he wasn't really my mentor, I guess, when I got into this, and I don't know if I agree with it. But then the other side of it is definitely the fasting and dry fasting, and I think that's more coming just from
Robert Morse.
well, from him as well, but I think from probably is him, but a lot of YouTubers as well who are doing fasts.
They knew it,
like
in one meal a day and things like that.
And it's
sure.
I don't think many of these people really need it for health reasons. Like they're not desperate to fast, but they want to experience something. I almost feel, and I think something funny that's occurred to me is that like people when they're looking to get healthy, they're quite stimulated by like the idea of taking supplements or superfoods or changing some weird diet or doing some fasting thing. But when you say like you're basically saying of eating a fruit diet and just keeping it simple like that, it's almost like that's too simple for them. And then even if they get towards a fruit diet, then they want to make it something special, like as you're saying, they want to dry fast with it, drink urine with it, and the worst one is when people want to be breatharian. It's like
I do have a lot of friends that are like that actually from Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah, it's very interesting because when I moved to Hawaii, there was all these fruitarians that were into Robert Morse. Right. And all these things that you're talking about, they're really, and they still are really, I think, into this, like all his sayings and all his pills, like taking all these like herbs and stuff. And so I know people that are into, like they think that the optimal goal in life is to like we should be breatharianism, no breatharian. Right, but
it's pretty terrible, and it seems to me like none of these people can actually just do the raw diet. Like
no, most of them that I know, they have gone back to cooked food now. It's never long term that they stay raw. It's usually for a few months or a year or something, and then they go back. And it's also too much obsessing about what they were doing. That's right. How I felt. Like I felt like, wow, they talk too much about this, and I was feeling like, oh, I just want to enjoy the beaches here in Hawaii. But we're talking about all this, like we need supplements, and I have to eat less today because it's healthier to eat less. And they were really like, I cannot talk too much about what people are, but I think it's sad if we like try to restrict ourselves on a raw vegan diet, because I think it should be about abundance and not trying to eat less, because I don't think that's what we are designed to do, is to at least not on a raw diet. Like we should be able to eat as much as we care for.
Another thing is this concept of like people talking about detoxing and being clean and getting obsessed with that. And there was a friend recently. There was sometimes there's a friend in a forum. There was some post about organic versus non-organic, and people were talking about, oh, I never have non-organic grapes, or I never do this or that. And I think I'd made a post where I was kind of, or maybe I'd replied like, I'd said something, but a friend of mine was basically saying, you need to work on being more clean, because if you can't tell the difference between organic and non-organic or whatever, then you're not clean enough. And
what
do you think that's kind of a strange mindset, or is that something like?
I've met people like that too, a lot. during my travels. And yeah, I don't think it's not healthy to think that our bodies, I don't think it's very healthy relationship with ourselves to
Right.
believe that we are dirty and that
Right.
we are disgusting, and we have things that we need to clean out, and we are not, our body's not doing a enough job because we need to do more, and we're
Right.
not doing enough. And I think it's so important to say that we are enough and we're doing enough and we're beautiful, and then also that we are, like, if you're raw vegan, you are really eating the best foods that you can, and the body's detoxing every single day and every single minute, and it's gonna eventually, we are gonna be cleaned up naturally. We don't have to try to do more to I don't think it's nice for the mind to believe that we are dirty. I rather think that I'm very clean.
What about things like enemas and
Yeah,
urine
that's the
drinking
same
and
thing.
colonics and all this?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like, why would you need to put water up in your butt to clean out? Like,
Right. Right.
we eat fruits that are so, like, it really just has so many fibers in there that it pulls out everything that,
Yeah.
and
Right.
eventually you'll like, all the things that have been stuck there in for years, it will disappear.
So I want to look ahead to the future now. I think we've covered a lot of stuff, and I'm really like, I really love what you're saying, to be honest, because it's refreshing to have someone that we're kind of on the same page, and a lot of people that we know at some of the festivals are on the same page, but there's so many people that are kind of on a different way with it. But I think at one point, and I don't know the whole story about this and how much you want to talk about it, whatever, but you were interested in maybe trying to help start a community somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Is that maybe going to happen, or are you still thinking of doing
Yeah,
that?
actually, I'm leaving in 5 days to go to the Philippines. And my goal, like, something that I really want to do, is to create a community for raw vegan, like, create this abundant place where we live with raw vegans, and we grow our own fruits, and we live next to the beach and live a simple, nice, loving life, lovely life. Because I actually grew up in a community myself, in an eco village, and that was the best. I had the best childhood. I had an amazing time. I was just playing with kids all day, and it was amazing. And I've since I was young, I've always wanted to do the same thing for
Wow.
my kids and
Yeah.
myself. So yeah.
So you grew up in an eco village. Wow, that makes a
Yeah.
lot. That makes a
Hmm.
lot of sense. So you were actually in a community and with a lot of people, and
Yeah. I grew up playing with my friends all day. All day I was just playing in the woods, and it was magical. I can only think about amazing things, and I felt so supported, and there was like a family, and
that's
we were eating
amazing.
every night together, and yeah, it was. And I want to create the same thing for my kids and the future generations, and yeah.
So you really know uh, how that works a little bit. Like you've actually lived in a
Yeah.
community like that, so you know how
Yeah.
they work.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah, mm-hmm. Right?
I always feel like that would be quite a challenging thing to do. And
Yeah,
I know there's some people in Ecuador. I don't know if you've been out to
I
there,
know. Yeah, I
and,
haven't been, but I know
right,
them. Yeah.
and they're kind of doing fruit communities, and there's some people doing these things. And I always think that um, I always think that people underestimate how difficult it might be
Mm,
to do that, or what that would
yeah.
take to make it happen. But you actually, having grown up with it, you kind
Hmm.
of obviously you know a bit more about it.
Yeah, I think I know, I've experienced what works and what doesn't, and that really have given me such a good picture of what I want to create, and like how it's gonna work and what is not gonna work. And I've also seen it, like in Hawaii, we were in this community, and it was not really working so well at the end. And also I've heard about Terra Fruitis, and I've been to other communities around the world, and me how I want to do it. And I think, growing up in a community has definitely helped me knowing how to do it. And I think that also my parents can help me. Like this is, it's really, I know it's something that's going to take years to create, but I'm ready.
Fantastic, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So have you got plans to put further information out there, more videos, maybe write a book, anything like that, or
Yeah.
got plans of doing these kind of things?
So this project is something I'm doing with my partner Grant, and we created a YouTube channel together, and it's called Path to Paradise.
Excellent.
We have it on YouTube, and we're planning on now when we're gonna go traveling that we're gonna document our journey to finding this land that we want to buy, and all our journey, like our experiences and how we want to create this community and what we want in the community. And we are trying to create this community on YouTube to and once we have bought the land, we will of course want people to come there and help us with starting and building and stuff like that. So that would be a really good way to follow this journey.
I think we really need places like that, because my theory is that environment is very important to a person making changes and adopting new habits.
Yeah.
Which is why a fruit festival, often people can come to a fruit festival and they stay raw for the whole week without really thinking about it sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
And I do think that it's so hard to change. And there's not that many places. If I know someone that's sick, I could recommend they go to a fruit festival maybe, but there's not a lot of places that they could go for 2 months or something, or 3 months, and just be completely surrounded by it all the time and be away from the other temptations.
Yeah.
But I think it's a really important thing. I think it's something that the fruit festivals at some point should be promoting as well. Like if people are doing these things, so that if someone wants to go somewhere for a longer period of time, and I do like the idea of community, of actually creating community. I do think it's essential. It's the biggest thing really, is bringing people together, because that's how people are going to make those changes.
Yeah, that's what we all want. When I meet people, we all want community, and most people in the world are wanting to be feeling like togetherness and feeling like I think most people in the world are feeling more lonely than ever. Yes. And we're more alone than ever. And I think we should change that now, and that's what we're going to try to do, is to change this. And once we have created it, maybe inspire other people to do the same thing, showing that it is possible to create a community.
Yeah, I do think that you're right. I really think that people go to some of these festivals and there's a lot of reasons why they feel good, but I think community is almost the number one thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you grew up in a community, but very few people did, and very few people. I think everyone's got their guard up a lot in life, and when they go to and especially if you're doing a diet like this, you've got your guard up, because people are always asking you questions, or want to make fun of you or whatever. And so when you go to a place where everyone's doing the same thing, but also the type of people that go seem to be just kind of nice people. I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that everyone else is bad, but like,
it's true though.
People that are looking to be better people, personal growth, personal development. A lot of them are into meditation, like you're talking about, yoga. A lot of people on a spiritual path. A lot of people looking to improve the world. Just so that community of people is just so nourishing for everyone. When you go and all these people are kind of, everyone you speak to is like is bringing out the best in you, and they're always pointing out the best in you as well.
Yeah.
And it's very supportive, and that's
So beautiful.
That's how I got really into this as well. It's like
Mm.
the community at Woodstock just blew me away.
Yeah, same
Um,
here.
so I'll be back there next year. Um,
Nice.
are you going to come back and be part of UK Fruitfest, or do you think you might not be able to come back? Or
I definitely want to, and
okay,
I don't know how long I'm gonna stay in the tropics this time, but if I'm going to Europe, it's gonna be in the summer, so I might.
okay,
I hope.
okay. Well, we'll stay in touch anyway.
Yeah.
Is there anyone I'd like you to? Uh, Obviously, we want to interview more people. Is there anyone you think we should interview for this? Anyone you want to give a shout out to? People that you think are particularly inspiring or interested in this lifestyle, even people that others might not have heard of before?
Oh, I don't know. Um, I cannot really think about anyone right now in particular.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But of course, if like my partner,
Uh-huh.
uh, Grant Painter, he's going to be with me on this path to paradise. So he also has a lot on his heart, and yeah, he's really wise and yeah, he has a lot to say. So, and he has also been raw for like 2.5 years now. So yeah.
Yeah, I met Grant as well at Woodstock and had a few really amazing nights with Grant actually.
Oh, cool.
Well, maybe before you turned up even, but um, yeah, he told us his story about how he was hitchhiking and stuff and
Oh yeah, yeah.
teaching. It's really interesting. Uh,
Mm,
but yeah, that's great. So thank you for being part of the interview today.
yeah.
And
This is
everyone who's
awesome.
listening, if you want to find out more about Anne, you can follow her Fruitari Anne on Instagram and YouTube, I think. And
Yeah.
also Path to Paradise is another YouTube channel. Check that out.
Mm-hmm.
And you can follow her journey. And Anne, is there anything you want to say just to finish off? Maybe something that might inspire some people?
Oh, hmm. I just want to say thank you. It was really nice to talking with you, and yeah, I just wish for you all to do what makes you feel your best, and always remember that you are perfect, and everything that you are is perfect, and I think starting with that is a good foundation to start changing your life and lifestyle. So yeah.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you very much. And everyone who's listening or watching this, feel free to share. And I don't know if this is a video, you can like it or you can share it or whatever you do, rate it or something. And if you're interested in learning more about this lifestyle, you can come to the UK Fruitfest. It takes place from the 21st to the 28th of July 2019 at Croft Farm Water Park, Gloucestershire. You can go to fruitfest.co.uk for more information. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.